I'm fighting these battles daily. This melody is going crazy. Jehovah, I can't talk on Jay-Z. If you want it, you cannot be lazy. The emptiness, it could get shaky. Jesus Christ, man, that's what you been craving.
Welcome back to the FarMore.podcast. Today we'll be just going over a few things on just a little bit more about me. You know, I feel like as the host of the show, as the CEO of the company, I feel like it's very important that the audience and you guys, pretty much the family, knows exactly who I am, knows what I come from. You know, oftentimes we talk about being far more and what it takes to be far more, but I just want to give you guys even more insight on my journey, because sometimes it's easier to listen to people and to hear what people have to say when you can relate to them. And that's what I want to give you guys today. I don't want it to be really about anybody else, so I don't want it to be really even about me. But maybe you could take something from my journey, take something from where I came from, take something from the lessons that I've learned in life and apply it to yours. Also, I'll be giving you guys insight on the direction I want to take it, on the places that I want to go, on the community that I want to build, the far more community. And also, at the end of this, I'm going to be issuing one challenge for the month of August. And there's a lot of exciting news to come from daily episodes, from daily things, daily tasks that I'm trying to build when it comes to this. I thank you guys for tuning in today. Enjoy the show. What's up, guys? It's Isaiah Williams, host of the FarMore.podcast. I just want to give you guys some insight on my life. I just want to give you guys some insight on who I am. I just want to give you guys some insight on my story, because I feel like once you could relate, or not even relate, but once you could hear my story and, you know, hear some of the things that I had to become far more through, I think it'll be easier, you know, for you guys to relate a little bit, and maybe not even relate a little bit, but understand where this is all coming from. I think understanding is important when it comes to this, because I don't just want this to be a podcast and it's just like any other podcast. Like I said in one of the first episodes, I want this to be something that changes people's lives and inspire people literally to become more than what they think they can become. That's my sole purpose for this. That is my goal for this. It's not about, you know, all the things that may come with it, but it's about literally inspiring the audience to become way more than what they ever thought they could become. And through these things, I feel like it's important to tell you guys a little bit about how this even all came about, and just give you guys an in-depth episode of not me getting interviewed, not me interviewing somebody else, but just solely based on where this all came from. So with that, I'm going to give you guys my testimony a little bit here. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my life. As a kid, you know, I was kind of sheltered. I'm not going to lie. Like from 1st to 8th grade, I didn't really, you know, experience no hardships or anything. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have. 1st to 8th grade, my mom protected me. My mom was a mama bear. I had my dad in my life. My mom sheltered me. To this day, from when I was born till I was 18 years old, I never slept at anybody's house except my godparents. No aunties. Well, my auntie I did a few times, but I never slept at anybody's house. You know, my mom had me protected. My mom had me in the nest, you know, and I didn't have no friends, sleepovers, nothing. So I was kind of protected. But where I kind of want to start this story with you guys because of that is 9th grade, right? So 9th grade, I go to high school. I'm experienced high school. Obviously, you know, if you're in high school or if you're younger, you know, you're experiencing it now. But most of us, we've experienced high school, you know. So you go to high school, everything's going on around you. It's a little different from middle school. I was a people pleaser, man. I was a people pleaser. I wanted everybody to like me. I did certain things that was honestly quite dumb, but I did it because I wanted the older kids to like me. I was following in their footsteps, no matter if they were wrong or right. I'm just doing things because I want everybody to know who Isaiah Williams is, you know, and that's how I kind of was throughout high school. And quite frankly, that's how I was until about, I was a people pleaser until about 3 years ago when God kind of revealed that to me, and he said, man, you like to please people way too much. You like to please people more than you like to please me. And I had to deal with that. But I mean, to backtrack and go back there where what I was talking about. But yeah, that's kind of how my ninth grade went. Man, I was a player, man. I that started off young, man. I love talking to all these different women. I love talking to all these different girls. But ninth grade, it wasn't too bad. 10th grade year came along, though, and that's when everything started to open up for me. I just want to say right now, it's important to be obedient to the people that God has placed in your life, that is trying to be good to you, that is trying to love you, because my parents would tell me certain things, but the world had more influence on my life than my own family. You know, my parents, you know, told me to run track. My parents told me to do these things, and I didn't listen. I was like, shoot, bro, like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing, right? So, and then I mentioned that, and that just came across my mind because I'm just thinking about all the times that I got in trouble as a youth, was doing things that my parents already warned me not to do. You know, so for all the young kids who are listening right now, listen to your parents, because they have experience, they have life lessons, they have all these things that we don't have in the moment, you know, and you're never too wise to learn from somebody else. That's another nugget I want to drop, because oftentimes I feel like even us nowadays, you know, we see somebody on the street, we see somebody struggling, and we'll turn our ears off from them. But more times often than not, they got the most impactful things that could literally change your life. I mean, some of the most valuable things that I learned came from when I was talking to somebody who was homeless, or when I was talking to somebody who had lack, you know, because they were speaking to me from experience. They were speaking to me of a place of wisdom of what not to do, you know, and I had to sit there and learn these things. But to backtrack, to go back to just not listening to my parents. So sophomore year was when I first did drugs, really. It was weed, but it's a drug, you know. So my sophomore year is when I first got open to that. And why I say it's important to listen to your parents, because my parents used to tell me all the time, run track, run track, run track. Coaches used to tell me all the time, run track, run track, run track. I go, and this was after, you know, I gave you guys a story in the first episode that I did where I was getting interviewed about how Coach Ellis believed in me, Coach Powell believed in me, and my life kind of changed from that point. But this is that basketball season was in the winter after I didn't make grades. So let me just go by that. So sophomore year, pretty much, I was playing football. I was a good athlete. I didn't make grades because of citizenship my sophomore year. So after I didn't make grades for citizenship, for those who haven't watched, I was going to the basketball games, and I was just watching. I wasn't even playing. I'm sitting back chilling like, oh, these guys, like, you feel me? It was a new head coach. Nobody was really rocking with him at the time. But he seen me in the stands, him and the assistant coach, and they said, who's that kid over there? And they pretty much told me, like, why aren't you playing basketball? So and then I tried to sign up. The athletic director at the time kind of like denied me, told the coach that I had bad character. My parents had to go up there, fight for me. I ended up being on the team. The coach ended up believing me. I ended up starting and playing a lot of games sophomore year in basketball, which is crazy. And then my life changed. But that spring, which was track season, when my parents were on me, run track, you need to run track, you need to run track. I was walking to a track meet. How ironic. I was walking to a track meet, and I seen somebody on the side. He was the homie at the time. He was like, hey, bro, you trying to hit this? And it was weed. And for some odd reason, I don't know why, but I said, yeah. And I had a girlfriend at the time, and after that experience, it kind of opened the doors to that, and we would just smoke all the time. So sophomore year, I kind of got introduced to drugs, introduced to weed and stuff like that, alcohol, stuff like that. So and then fast forward junior year, nobody really knows this, but going into junior year, nobody knew me. At the school, nobody knew me. In San Diego, nobody knew me. And sophomore year, I exposed somebody. I pretty much leaked a girl's nudes on Twitter. And When I leaked her nudes on Twitter, it was a big old thing. I was trying to be like somebody else. No excuse though, man. And if she's watching this, I truly do apologize. But I've reached out, apologized multiple times, but I will forever be sorry for that situation. But I leak a girl's nudes on Twitter. Police comes to my house. Assistant principal is upset. I'm pretty much almost getting expelled from Olympian, and which was my high school, by the way. But I'm pretty much almost getting expelled. Yeah, that was a crazy time, but through that situation, God kind of came in my life. The same Bible that I'm looking at that's on my dresser, and it's open to the same verse, which is Psalms 23. As soon as I opened that Bible, all this in the background, that's when that all started to happen. So remember, this is sophomore year when I exposed a girl, when I first started smoking weed. Then I opened that Bible, and I wasn't living the word at all, but it's still open on my desk to this day. It has not closed at all. It has dust. It's getting, the paper is getting brown. Like, it has not been closed since the day I opened it, and put it on my desk right there. But when I opened it, junior year came. Mind you, nobody knew me. Remember, I just said that. Nobody knew me. But then the first game of junior year football, I get like 2 sacks. I had 2 touchdowns. One got called back, but I had the game-winning touchdown. I had like 12 tackles, 2 sacks. Boom. And then Z4 came along. So for the people who follow my music, CallEmZ4. That's how Z4 came along, because my name's Isaiah. I wore number 4. They called me Zay, Z4, So that's how that came along. Yeah, so then I honestly was going crazy. So junior year, I had the most touchdowns on the team. I was honestly the most popular on the team because I'm going on the field, I'm doing dances, I'm lit. I like Lil Uzi at the time. I'm the shoulder rolls, all that. Like, that was me, and we had success that year. We went to CIF. We ended up losing to a great running back. I mean, a great team, honestly, modern day. The one in San Diego, but they had a running back who went to Oregon, started Heisman candidate, CJ Verdell. This dude is crazy, and if you're seeing this, CJ, bro, you were a real deal in high school. But we ended up losing to them. But then we go to basketball season and we go 30-4. Like this right there, that was when I was in the newspaper. We went 30-4. We lost in CIF, but basketball, if you lose CIF, you can still go state. So we go state, and bro, I'm dropping like 25 points, 23 rebounds, and then I got like athlete of the week, whatever, for basketball. So, I mean, that summer, Washington State's coming, Arizona's coming, all these schools are coming. But you know what they say? They bring their iPad out, they're recording me. They're like, hey, you got all the talent, but you're just not fast enough. So that kind of hurt to like a couple years ago, because I'm like, dang, like I had all this opportunity. Like, I'm talking about 50 receiver in California, ranked on Rivals, Scout, all this stuff, all these Pac-12s hitting me up. I'm going to USC on visits with my 7-on-7 team, Team Akasi. The coach is like, hey, well, you just need to do this, you just need to do that. Coaches coming to my games, but just never offering me. Then senior year, I go through that season, I go crazy. Like, we're in the wing tee offense, so that means you're running the ball 90% of the time. And I still had over 1,000 yards of offense, But that senior season, we lost to the CIF champions again, and then basketball was just whatever. But this is kind of where I want to pick up now that you guys have kind of a background on that. In high school, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was San Diego lit. Like, I knew most people in San Diego, most people knew me. But I was turned, like, a lot of women. a lot of women. That's all I could say really about that. I could do whatever I want. Even the teachers, I'm not going to say names because they still teach at the school to this day, but even the teachers was like I'm like, man, I'm showing up late to class. They like, man, okay, like Isaiah Z. No, even the teachers was calling me Z4 at this point, just to give you all an understanding of how it was. They're like, Z4, like blah blah blah. You could do it. Like I was doing whatever I wanted at that school, literally. And yeah, it was good in the moment, but sometimes we get away with things in the moment, and we think that we're getting away with it, but really it's hindering our future. You know what I'm saying? They say character is what you do when nobody's watching, you know? And character development is kind of how you treat certain moments as well when nobody's watching. Who are you when you're alone and you just went for 3 touchdowns, or you just got paid on your new job, or you just got $150,000 raise? Who are you, you know? But I think those moments are built in humility, and I didn't have humility at all. I didn't know what it was to be humble. I'm going on the field popping it. I'm popping it with people's girls. I'm popping it. I'm just going crazy everywhere. I'm like, bro, I'm Z4. Like, get out my face, right? But then senior year, it was kind of funny because, you know, as school ended up winding down after having all this recruiting, after being ranked, after being, this, that, after being all state, after being, all CIF, all league like 18 times, like not 18 times literally, but you get what I'm saying, like a lot. Like I was all league so many times that I don't even know where the other one is. Like I'm missing some. And going to CIF, having success in high school, high school's kind of your world. But senior season dwindled down, and I'm kind of like, dang, like hold on, I don't even have the offers I want. I have a D2 offer. No, I'm not a D2 player. You know, that's how I'm thinking. And I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm just going to go JUCO. So it was funny because after that reality set in, I was waking up at 4 in the morning every single day. 4 in the morning with my cousin Mike. He's a fashion designer. Shout out him. But I was waking up at 4 in the morning literally every single day with him. We would wake up. I'm like, okay, they say I'm not fast enough, go to the hill. Boom, go to the hill. Okay, they say I'm not, boom, this, I'm doing it. Okay, I need to get better on my routes. I'm working out like 4 times a day. And mind you, I'm running track at this time. Finally, something clicks like, okay, you need to get faster. When I fell, right? So I fell, but I told myself, man, I think that was kind of like my first, if you want to say like FarMore moment, because I was just like, man, you know what? Even though I didn't get what I wanted, like I'm telling you, my last game of the season, the Nevada coach, his name is Coach Chang. He literally came to my game, my last game of the season. There was another running back there that we were playing. Well, not first game of the season, playoffs. There was another running back there. The very first play of the game, I score an 80-yard touchdown. I have like 10 tackles. I'm going absolutely stupid. And he calls me, he's like, I got to refer you to another coach, which was the coach at Southern Utah, Coach Arsenal, which is now at the University of Hawaii. Congratulations, coach. But he referred me to him, but he was like, our head coach literally just doesn't want to offer you. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, so I'm facing all these things in JUCO. Then I go to JUCO. I'm facing all these things going into JUCO, leaving my senior year, and I'm just like, dang, like, I kind of had to have a reality check. I kind of had to humble myself and be like, bro, you're not that good. Like, you know, I'm in San Diego, and this is a time, I think 2018 San Diego, my class had the best class. I mean, we had a 5-star. We had my boy Chris. We had multiple NFL players, and just in San Diego alone that I played against, that I played with, you know what I'm saying? So the talent pool was wide, but I'm seeing all my boys go here, all my boys go there, and I'm just like, dang, like. But I would blame my parents because my senior year I was supposed to transfer. I was supposed to transfer to a school, and they didn't let me. So for the longest, I was blaming them instead of blaming myself. I had Washington at the school. I had all these schools at the school, but they said I'm not fast enough. But if I would have just listened to my parents, I would have been fast enough. I would have been at those schools, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they were looking for. That's all I was missing was speed. But instead of taking that accountability where I could have grew faster, I blamed my parents for a long time. Like, oh, y'all should have let me go to this school. I would have died. I would have this. I would have that. But most of I want to give y'all a little nugget right here, man. Most of the time, it's not about the outside circumstances, or it's not about where you're at. It's about who you are. And at that time, I wasn't ready for a scholarship. I wasn't ready to go D1. I wasn't ready to go to a big university. I wasn't ready to be great, if I'm just going to be blunt and honest. I was not ready. I let fame, or what I thought was fame, I let a whole bunch of distractions just cloud my judgment, cloud my life, and I wasn't putting my best foot forward. But that senior year, when I didn't have nothing, I learned what it was to put my best foot forward. I learned what it was to get it out the mud when I went to JUCO. I learned what it was to be, even when I got to JUCO, I wasn't even a starter. I played defense at first. Then I went back to offense because they didn't know where to put me on the field. Then I went to receiver. Then I went to running back. Then I went back to receiver. But one game against the number one team in California, the number one JUCO in California, I had like this crazy like series where I had like I ended the game with like 130 yards or something like that. But on one drive I had 80 yards. I ran out, caught another play, boom, threw a fade ball, threw the guy off me, boom, touchdown. That play that game literally got me offered to Southern Utah. So I go to Southern Utah. You know, more adversity hits, of course. I think I talked about this on the first one, but just to go through it briefly, because I kind of want this episode to be nice, quick, short. I want you guys to take something away from it. But I go to Southern Utah. I'm playing. I don't learn the playbook at all. Mind you, my fault still, because the coach sent me the playbook when I signed to them, and I had a whole semester to learn it. But I didn't learn it. I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'm D1 now. That's all I could think about. I'm D1 now. I just want to tell y'all this before I forget. Never feel like you have arrived. That's something I learned from Coach Fitzgerald. I'm not going to lie, Coach Fitz. I did not like you when you were my coach at Southern Utah. But I'm not going to lie. The things that you've instilled to me and me, I use them to this day. Even though y'all was on that nonsense. And I'm going to send this to you too. But the things that you instilled in me, I literally thank you for. Seriously. He said, never feel like you arrived. And that was when he said that at first, I swear I did not listen. I'm like, this dude, bro, like, here he goes again. Bro, I'm telling you, this dude would have us outside in 5-degree Utah weather in the mountains where the altitude is where you could barely breathe. My dreads are freezing because it's so cold outside. My boy Rod, he is trying to yell at the team to get us on track, and bro's lips are frozen, can't even move, you know. And we got to be outside, and Coach Fitz is like, oh, you can't wear gloves. Oh, you can't put nothing on your head. Then after we do that, we going inside and we power cleaning the world, squatting the world. Like, this dude was absolutely crazy, but I literally, kid you not, that is the reason why all this is happening right now. Because the things that he was instilling in me, man, I wanted to go talk to the team out there, Coach. Even though I did not like you, I love you now. And I'm just saying that right now. But, I'm sorry I went on a little rant. But, moral of the story is, don't ever feel like you've arrived. Because the moment you start feeling like you've arrived, that's when everything starts to go bad. Stay hungry. Enjoy it. But stay hungry for what you want. Don't ever feel like it's secure. Don't ever feel like pretty much what I'm saying is don't take it for granted. Because it can get taken from you at any moment. And you never know when it's going to be your last opportunity to accomplish something. So I want to tell you guys that. But backtrack just a little bit. So I'm at Southern Utah after I did 1 year at JUCO. Now I'm at Southern Utah. And, you know, it's cool, but I don't learn the playbook, which is on me. But during the season, I'm literally going crazy. Like, I'm mossing people. I'm literally going crazy. Like, all the best players, even some guys who are in the NFL, like, I'm going crazy, literally. And they still, like, y'all who play college football, y'all know how the college coaches get. Once you're on that scout team, it's kind of hard to make that jump over unless people start getting hurt. But yeah, I didn't end up playing. But I got an award that year. I got a Scout Player of the Year, which was cool because I'm just like, shoot, I ain't even playing. I got an award. Bet. Good things to come from my future. So, and then they moved my position to running back at the end of that season. They're like, look, I played Wildcat quarterback. Stupid me, trying to be Scout Player of the Year, trying to be Mr. Hero. I played Wildcat quarterback that week where we were facing a Wildcat quarterback, and I went crazy, like absolutely crazy, and that's all the head coach needs to see. But then I moved my position to running back. COVID happened. I didn't play that year, but then my sophomore year, I'm playing, and I even kind of let that get to my head again. The fame got to my head again. Because now I'm balling in college. Now everybody, not only people in the college are like, oh, Z4, but people back home are like, Z4, all the old women, all the old girls. Another thing that I got to drop on y'all. I don't know who this is directed to, but I want to tell you this. When you up, you're going to have a lot of people that are clapping, that are loud, that are, oh my gosh, da-da-da-da-da. Remember the moments when you're down. And I'm not saying be spiteful, but sometimes we forget who was with us when we were just regular Joe. Literally, just regular person walking around, da-da-da-da-da. You're not getting posted. You're not on ESPN. Nothing. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay humble. You got to stay focused on the destiny, on the goal, on the mission. But it's kind of hard to stay focused. And I'm about to tell you why. Because we have an enemy. We have an adversary. We have somebody who's literally trying to kill and destroy us daily. Literally. And I know it may seem like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. No, this is real. Every time I had success, every time I was close to the finish line, the enemy knew my vices. He knew where I would fail. He knew where I was weak, and he would hit it. Sometimes it was in the form of weed. But when I said, okay, no, I'm not going to be focused on the weed, then it shifted to alcohol. Then it shifted to sex. Then it shifted back to weed. Like, he's shifty. He's nifty. The enemy is nifty. And he knows where you are weak at. We are not that strong. Another lesson. Guys, we are not that strong. I know you may think you're big, bad, and mighty, but we're not. Not me, not anybody. We could all fall at any given moment. Any given time. Now, if you do put on the armor of God and do these things, then it's a little bit harder. But the moment you start thinking you're a big macho man, you're done. We're not that strong. Okay? The weaker you get for Christ, the stronger you become. I just want you to know that. For whoever needs to hear that. Because we're the enemy. Once you get close to your dreams, and once you get close to a goal, there's a reason why your friend's asking you to go out more. There's a reason why this is happening more. Have y'all ever noticed that when you have a girl that you like and you start dating a girl, it seems like, I can only speak from a man's perspective, guys. I'm sorry for the woman that's watching, but haven't you noticed that when you start dating a girl, when you start liking a girl, that all these girls come out the woodworks? You're not that hot, my guy. The enemy is trying to destroy something in your life. And he did it for me. I'm not going to lie. Every time I would get close to my goals in football, I would be starting and I would do something stupid. Like literally dumb. I would be in great position. Like my junior with Coach Fitz. I was in a great position to be the starting running back. I go on a vacation. When we're supposed to, though, like it's over 4th of July. I go on a vacation, and I'm so drunk at this vacation that the day I'm supposed to come back, I'm just like, yeah, bro, like, I got it in the bag. Like, I'm not even worried. Like, I'm about to go back home. Cocky. Feeling like I arrived. And you know what Coach Fitz did? He said, guess what? Go be a 10 running back on scout. And I had to, even though I was mad at them for that, he has to feed his family too. But I had to work my way up from all the way from scout team, all the way to play, to get in the position to transfer to USD, where I ended up going top 10 in the country. And it's just like, bro, our mistakes, every decision you have dictates your destiny. And there's decisions that get you closer to the destiny, and there's decisions that get you further away. Don't ever feel like you're so big that your decisions don't matter. Because they do. And when you're alone, when you fail, you're going to fail alone. Your family going to be there to support you. The people who really support you, they're going to be there to support you. But all them girls, all the vices, they're gone. They ain't going to hit you up. Trust me. They're not. They're not. And I don't even know where all this is coming from. I'm kind of just getting on here to talk to you guys today. Okay, let's just take that all back because I don't know where all that came from. So I ended up playing my junior year. Coach Fitz comes in. He's doing all that crazy stuff, right? My decision of doing that stupid stuff and not coming back on time led me to being a 10th running back on the depth chart. Then I'm playing. I work my way all the way up. I'm asking God for light. I scored 3 touchdowns. I will never forget that. Then my relationship with God starts to grow because it's crazy how the things that the enemy meant to destroy me was the exact things that led me here. The things that the enemy used in my life, like the woman, and of course I made the decision to be with them, but those who've been tempted know. Them demons come knocking at your door. For real. So it's crazy to me still to this day how the things that the enemy used to try to destroy me, to try to destroy my confidence, to try to destroy who I was the same things that God used for me to come to him in a relationship. God it says in the Bible in Joel 2, just look it up, Joel 2 something, I'm not for sure, but it says about the locust and how God puts that locust in the area of our lives and it destroys the crops of our lives. So all that hard work I was doing in the off season, I'm telling you guys, I would work out 3 times a day. I would do this, I would do that, I would take it serious. But sometimes that locust, it comes and it destroys all that by one bad decision, by one mistake. One mistake, not showing up on time, led me from being a 1 to a 10 and cost me 4 games to try to get back up there. Cost me a lot of headaches, cost me a lot of stress, but God used that. God used that exact season. He used that exact moment to say, you know what? Let's see where he goes from here. And I was talking to my boy JT. He's going to be on here soon. I was talking to my boy JT and he said, bro, he has a crazy story. I mean, bro has, I don't want to give it up because he's going to come on here. But I was talking to him and we would ride home from practice and he said, bro, sometimes when I just be going through it, I just ask God to show me a sign. I just ask God to let me see a little bit of light. And mind you, this is around the time where I started getting daily words in. Coach Fitz and them, they had a pastor come to practices like every Thursday and we'd do a Bible study there. So that's what I started going to those every week because I needed it. I was down bad. Like, I'm like, bro, I put in all this work. It's never paying off. But those little seeds of that Bible study led me to praying in my shower. Shout out, I think his name is Joe Klein. Shout out him. But those little seeds led to me going in my shower every night, even though I was still drinking, even though I was still smoking, even though I was still stuck. And the enemy's job, before I even go there, the enemy's job is to keep you in a loop that you can't detect, a loop that you can't figure out without the hand of God on your life. So remember that. Oftentimes, I know there's some of us out here, we feel like we're in a loop. We feel like we're in a cycle. I hear people say that a lot. I'm in a cycle. I'm in a loop. I'm in a cycle. There's a reason. There's a reason. I go to the shower. JT's talking to me. I need to see light. I go to the shower that night. I say, God, I need motivation. I need light. Now, mind you, I'm living in sin. That, I believe, a couple weeks later or that week, no, because my daughter was already born. But I see my daughter sometime around there. She comes up to visit me, and I'm with my daughter. So I hold her for the first time because I was in season, so I wasn't able to see my daughter get born because I'm not in a good position with the coaches. I can't just leave because I'm already down bad. They're already not playing me. I'm thinking about the NFL. I'm like, okay, I got to just sacrifice this. But I hold my daughter for the first time. That next game, I believe, I score 3 touchdowns. Not the next game I held my daughter, but I'm trying to think. I don't really remember the sequence, but all this is happening at once. Let's just say that. But I remember specifically the time I asked God to show me light, I scored 3 touchdowns. And the first game the second game that sorry. The first game I asked God to show me light, I scored a touchdown. I got in the game. The next week, I scored 3 touchdowns. So I have 4 touchdowns in 2 weeks, right? The next game I played kind of bad, but then the next game they put me in, that's when my daughter comes. That's when I hold my daughter. I scored 2 touchdowns with only 3 times touching the ball. I scored 2 touchdowns. I'm trying to put it in simple terms. So God really had his hand on me. He was showing me like, look, I'm here for you. You know, and ever since then, I sought God. I prayed to God. Now, mind you, when I was about to transfer, I didn't get to talk about this, but when I transferred, I was kind of scared of my boy Damaj. He was like, bro, don't be scared. Just hop in the portal. I go on the Bible app. Mind you, I've been seeking God. I go on the Bible app and he says, I'll always be with you. Be strong and courageous, for wherever you go, I will be with you. So I'm like, all right, bet. Then I go to Panda Express with a female, by the way. And it says, I open the fortune cookie and it says, a change of scenery. Now, mind you, this is why I'm thinking about it says a change of scenery is just what you need. Bro, I'm telling you, I had the coach up that same day, transfer portal, got in the portal. Now I'm back. Coach is calling me. They're like, oh yeah, we want to offer you. Obviously that didn't happen. They would call me, not call me back. I'm at a workout. I don't even feel like being at the workout. I have a headache. I'm at the workout, and I think it's because I was smoking. I was like high or something that day, and I got a headache from it. But I'm at the workout, and the USD coach walks in. And he's like, wait, we need a transfer portal running back. We need this. Perfect timing, perfect alignment. Now, I say all this to say, God was still working with me even though I was still in sin. But I remained seeking God. Now, that is not an excuse to be stuck in sin, to be stuck in the things that you know you need to change. Because I was trying. That's the thing. God knows when you're trying. I may not know when you're trying. The next person may not know when you're trying. But the person who knows if you're trying is the Lord himself. And if I'm going to be honest, you. Sometimes we don't want to look ourselves in the mirror and give ourselves that hard discussion. Sometimes we know we need to change, and then somebody brings it along, and then it's like, oh, this and that. No. You know. Just like my boy Toa said, he said, you know what to do. Go do it. Oftentimes that's us. We know what we need to do. We just struggle to do it, but I asked God for light. I ended up transferring down here. USD happens. I play USD season. Everything's clicking. Everything. All the hard work, all the sacrifice. I'm going to church. I'm committed to God. Let me take you guys back to that story. So when I was, during this time of when I transferred and when went to USD, I had a long break because I only needed one class to graduate from Southern Utah. So I'm taking the class online. But I'm down here and I'm at USD. Well, I already get recruited to USD, I'm committed, but in that time I'm just chilling. So one day I go out with my homies and we were living crazy, bro. Like, I'm talking about insane, like sections, multiple women, alcohol, this, that, crazy. The stuff that the world said was gold was doo-doo. Let me just say that. The stuff that the world and these rappers talk about, this girl, this section, I'm in the club, pull out your girl, get your baby mama, point them out, they come into the set, they flocking. First of all, that stuff is real. And second of all, that stuff has nothing to offer you. Absolutely nothing, because I've done it. I've been in a section where I didn't have to say any words to a girl the whole night and went home with her and did stuff and said, hey, you, come here. I've done it. It has nothing to offer you. That life outside has nothing to offer you. Trust me, I've been there. But with that being said, God saved me there as well. It was one night. I went out with the homies. We had 40 women in the section, literally. Crazy, famous DJ is performing. I'm talking about it's lit. And my homies literally could attest to this because they still remember this to this day. I'm vibing. I'm doing my job. I'm a recruiter. As you guys see, I could talk. Hey, what's up? Hey, come on. Let's go. Let's get it lit. Let's get it popping. I'm in this section. I'm vibing. Boom, boom. Light, boom. Literally, the spotlights in the club flashed on me. And God said, really? Is this what you want to be using your talents and your gifts for? All the things that I gave you, all the things that I blessed you with, all the things that I gifted you, is this where you want to be spending it? And I'm not going to lie, that question had me messed up all night. The party was not the same and no more after that. Not the same. And I was just sitting there and I'm just like, then God is so cold. He's so elite that then he started showing me the things that was going on in the club. He started showing me the evilness in it. He started literally showing me. And I was like, that goes on? It's like he opened my eyes to a whole new dimension. And I was just like, no. I said, no, I don't want to use my gifts and talents for this. So then I ran across this rapper named MC Isaiah, and he was doing Bible studies online. And I would join him at home. And mind you, I would still smoke weed at this time. I would join him at home and I would just watch. And I would just be like, oh, okay. Like, not really think nothing of it, but I said, you know what, every Friday I'm going to tune into his Bible studies. So, and then on Fridays, I would tune into his Bible studies. I would watch his Bible studies. And I just stayed consistent with that with God. I stayed consistent with that. Then I went on a 3-day fast because of spiritual reasons. Not spiritual reasons, sorry. I went on a 3-day fast because of health reasons. But it became spiritual. I'm not knowing the spiritual side of fasting. I'm not knowing that yet. I'm not really knowing anything about God. I'm just tuning into these Bible studies, reading one scripture a day, praying in the shower still. So then I go and so then I went on a 3-day fast. I literally had to go back right now because I lost my train of thought. But I'm going to keep that in there because I think I be thinking so much. Sometimes you be in a talk and I'm talking to you guys and I'm thinking about that moment because it's just crazy. But I go on a 3-day fast. My boy Toa, the one that you guys seen on here, he invites me out to church. We ended up getting saved together in the church, and literally ever since that, I've been in the church ever since. Not saying I haven't made mistakes, not saying I'm perfect, but one thing I want you guys to realize about this story is my relationship with God didn't start there. It started when I was in the darkest season of my life, when I was putting in so much work that I literally had a social life, but I was so focused, and the enemy just found ways constantly to throw me off track. And I made decisions to go off track as well. It happened in that moment. That's when my relationship with God cultivated and builded, because I started seeking him. It says, seek and you shall find. You can find God, but you have to seek him. That's all I started doing, seeking him. I wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. I sought God. I said, you know what? I am broken right now. I'm done. I can't do it with my own strength. And that's why I said earlier, we are not that strong. We're not stronger than the enemy, gang. Not without God. Because everybody likes to say, I can do all things through Christ. That's possible. But we forget the through. I can do all things through Christ. That's possible. I could do all things through Christ. I could do all things through Christ. You got to go through Christ. Then you can do all things. Then you can do all things. I know you may say, man, what about the evilness in the world? What about people who are wicked, who are successful? Their day is coming. Because then you have to define success. You have to define what success is. Is success me running up $10 billion, or is success me making heaven my home? You know what scares me? Sometimes I think, God, so you're telling me, okay, we die. Obviously, I'm living right for you right now. I'm trying my best. I'm going hard for you, God. I'm doing the best I can. So you're saying when I get to heaven, I'm just gonna, that's it? Like, I'm just gonna go to sleep and wake up, and then go to sleep and wake up, and then am I even gonna go to sleep, or what? I have a hard time comprehending eternity. Because I'm like, dang God, well, what are we gonna do in heaven? Like, we're just gonna wake up and everything's just gonna be good, and then that's just it. Like, and then I'm gonna have to do that forever. Forever. But then I start to think, what about the people who have to do that in hell for forever? Forever. Forever. Like, take a moment right now, pause this, and think about forever. Eternity. That literally makes me cry. Not that people are going to hell, not that people are going to heaven, but comprehending forever. That is where I'm at right now. But I fast, I go to church, I'm here now. And even in church, man, I made so many mistakes. I've slept with a woman before, like my first year being saved. I would still drink because I would be like, oh, Jesus, I don't even know where this direction is going of this. I just planned to come on here and share y'all my testimony, but it's going so much further than that. But I'll be like, oh man, Jesus drunk wine, so I'm gonna sip on some wine. You know, he made wine, but little did I know. See, it's hard to comprehend the Bible when you don't have the Holy Spirit, when you don't have wisdom. And little did I know that wine back in the day wasn't fermented. It wasn't. It's fresh pressed grape juice. Wine back in the day wasn't fermented. And it took me a minute to learn that. But yes, I messed up when I was first saved. And the first year I would drink, and me drinking led to me getting drunk one night. I would sip, but I wouldn't get drunk though. I'll be like, I'll get a little buzz, but then I'll just stop. But then one night I actually got drunk. And when I got drunk, this girl that I was dealing with at the time, we ended up going back to her crib, and obviously you know what happened, but I'm just going to be vulnerable with you guys. I remember when it was happening, and not because of her. I mean, me and her still have a great relationship to this day, but I remember when it was all happening and all the activities were happening, I was literally laid on the bed, looking in the sky, saying, God, I am so sorry. And ever since that day, I haven't had sex again. Now, I'm not saying I've been perfect and not getting close. I'm not saying that at all, but I haven't had sex again, you know. And I keep reiterating that because I want you guys to know that this life isn't about perfection. Being far more isn't about perfection. Being great isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about discipline. It's about way more things than perfection. Because perfection is something we will never achieve, but we should shoot for. Okay? So then that happens. Now I'm saved. I go crazy. Kind of everywhere, but just follow me. But then I do good in the season, projected, draft pick to undrafted, which is perfect. Bigger, boom, pull my hamstring a month before pro day. So I'm like, dang God, like, and it was funny how I pulled my hamstring. And this was like, so another thing, I didn't expect this to go this way, but it's going this way, and I'm gonna take it all the way there. But when I pulled my hamstring for the pro day, God was telling me to get off the game, the PlayStation. And I'm like, God, why do I have to get off the game? I'm doing all this for you. I'm going to church. My life has changed. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And that was honestly the first lesson. One of the first lessons that I learned with God is it's obedience over sacrifice. It's obedience over the work that you do. Yeah, I could go downtown. I go downtown now. I don't go in the club, but I go downtown now and I tell people about the love of God because that's where God saved me. So I have a special place in my heart for that type of, I don't want to say environment, but I go downtown and I like to go down there and ask people while they're about to go in the club, do you know about Jesus? I like to plant seeds down there. So I go down there sometimes, but yeah, man, that was really my first lesson I learned with God. It's obedience over sacrifice, because although I go downtown, although I outreach to people, although I do this, although I do that for the glory of Jesus, although I make Christian music, although I'm doing this and doing that and doing it does not matter if I'm not obedient to Him. It does not matter. And that was the lesson that God showed me during that time. I was doing all the works for God, but when He told me to get off the game, I wasn't obedient. And I pulled my hamstring. Pulled it. So I get to the pro day. Obviously, it doesn't go good. I'm on one leg. I jump good, but I'm on one leg. Get there. Just terrible day. I knew from the jump, like, that it was just not going to happen. I knew it. And it didn't happen. Drive day comes. A couple family members are here talking to my agent. It's just like, nah, like, you ran bad, bro. Like, I had to face the music, bro. But even in that lesson, God was showing me, like, okay, then what are you going to do? Now that you started serving me and I allowed you to go top 10 in the country and your sin didn't overtake you this time, what are you going to do now that I don't give you what you want? Sometimes I feel like we fall away from God, and I feel like we fall away from the things of God because He doesn't give us what we want. And He asked me that, like, He didn't really ask me that, but I could tell He was looking down like, okay, so you didn't get drafted. What are you going to do now? That same day I went to church. I was trying to run. The enemy sometimes can disguise itself as a good thing, as God. You know, I was just reading today in Matthew when he came to God and he repeated scripture to God. You see, the enemy could bless you too, right? So he came, one of my boys, he invited me to a church camp. And he was like, bro, just come, like, and it's somewhere where you have no service, it's somewhere where you have nothing. And I knew I wasn't getting drafted because I knew I ran absolutely terrible. I did terrible. Again, with running, track, obedience to parents. Now you see how this is all starting to come together. But Yeah, so I had an opportunity to run from my problems. And I remember my boy Reek, he was like, bro, well, how are you going to hear if coach is calling you? And I was like, yeah, bro, I know I shouldn't go out there. But I went to church that night. Church saved me from a lot of things. I go to church. And yeah, man, I didn't run from the problem. I faced it. And through that, I was with my daughter a lot at the time. And when I was with my daughter a lot, I kind of started to be with God alone a lot. And he kind of was just dealing with me, revealing things, building me in the darkness, in the quietness. It was lonely, but that's where I grew the most with God, right there. I would go to church, go to my boys' house. I wasn't really alone, because I was with my boys with my boy Toa, with my boy Reek, all my boys who I got saved with. I was with them, and yeah, we was just locked in on God, man. I remember we going to church 3 times a week. We praying, we doing this, we doing that. Me and Toa made a pact, and we said, when the devil comes at you, double down. You know, and I still try to live by that to this day. Is like, when the enemy comes at you, sometimes we shy away, we run away, just like I was about to do. But in those moments, we have a split-second decision. Do we run away from the noise, or do we double down? And God doubled down for us. Not only did he create us, not only did he give us another chance after Adam and Eve fell, but he came down here himself. He doubled down that, no, these are my children. We got to double down for him. That's what being FarMore is. It's about doubling down and saying, you know what? Although I just got smacked in the face, let's get it back. Let's go again. Let's do it again. Let's fight some more. And it do be hard, but that's why you need a church community. That's why you need people around you who are going to push you to those levels. That's why you need those people, because those are going to be the people who you're going to need to lean on in those times. I already told y'all, there's no such thing as a self-made man. Double down, though. Double down. That's the only way you're going to make it in this life. The enemy's job is to I hope you could repeat those 3 things. Steal, kill, destroy. That's all. And what's crazy is he don't care who you are. That's his mission, because he wants you to be in the eternal damnation that he's in. You know, so now we're here, man. It's been years and years of me. And this is another thing people don't even know. After I didn't get drafted, every time I would fast to God, every time I would ask God, God is football for me, he would literally tell me, be patient. And I'm talking about through preachers giving me words. Just be patient. Just wait. Through me reading my own Bible, I'm flipping the pages. Be patient. Be patient. Wait on God. Wait on God. But sometimes that wait on God is not for what you think it is. I thought wait on God meant I was going to make it. So I'm waking up, driving 30, 45 minutes to a workout, giving my all to football, literally sacrificing. I went vegan for 3 years because I'm like, this is going to prolong my career. Because God said, be patient. And I worked, 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 and I worked. And every opportunity came, but it didn't work. And I'm like, God, why? You're saying be patient. Why? But then I figured out why. We are FarMore. That's why. What you guys are seeing is why. This podcast, the music, the words, all the stuff. I can't even keep up. That is why I had to go through that. But I didn't quit, guys. Do not quit. We lose when we quit. The enemy is already defeated. When Jesus came, he died, he resurrected. The enemy lost every battle. The only battle the enemy wins is when me and you decide we are quitting. Don't quit, because your win may be right around the corner. It may be around 3 corners. I've been waiting for my win for 4 years. But that's why in my song, See You Later, by CallEmZ4, I said, God told me it's my time, I'm looking up, I'm waiting patiently. Because sometimes when we try to fit our time schedule and we try to fit what we want to fit in for God, it never works out. Never. And I'm telling you, just hold on. Just hold on tight. Because in due season, God will come through. Get up. Stand again. Fight again. Because that's all you got. And you don't want to look down the road 30 years from now. We're not getting younger. You don't want to look down the road 30 years from now and say, I wish I could have did more. Because I had to deal with that regret. I had to deal with that regret of saying, man, I wish I would have listened to my parents. Man, I wish I would have did this. Both of my friends are in the NFL. Both of my best friends. All pro. And I've never hated on them. I've always loved them. But when it came to my life, I looked and I said, dang. If I would have had the focus they had, if I would have had the drive they had, if I would have had the dedication they had, I would be right there with them. Not saying that I want their life. And they know this. They know I love them. But they were focused. They worked relentlessly towards their goals. That's why they're where they're at. Simple as that. I didn't do that. That's why I'm where I'm at. Not saying I'm at a lower place. Not saying I'm at a worse place. But that's why I didn't make my dreams is what I'm saying. Because opportunities came, but opportunities also go. And you got to be ready for your moment. And that regret, that, man, Coach Fitz, I love him because he said, you know what, son, if I was you, I wouldn't have to worry about an electric bill for the next 10 years of my life. See, he probably don't think I remember that, but I remember. But that plays in my head sometimes. Because sometimes people see something in you that you don't even see in yourself. That's where this is coming from. Because I was the person that he seen something in me and I didn't see it in me. My mom seen something in me. My dad seen something in me. My family seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. We're going to bring that out of you. We are going to bring that out of you. We are going to bring that out of you. Every episode, every moment, every talk. This is not even about a religion. I know I talk about I'm a Christian. I am a disciple of Jesus. Do I want you to get there? Absolutely. Do I need you to get there? Absolutely. But it's going to be a little different. We're going to tell you about moments. We're going to tell you about situations. Because this life gets real. And it gets real tricky. And like I said, the enemy. Haven't you noticed that when somebody's down, it's like more and more things pile on. And more things pile on. That's because they're weak at that moment. And what does it say? He walks around like a roaring lion. What do lions do? They attack the weakest link. They attack the weakest link, guys. So when you're weak, that's when the enemy gonna come. And he gonna boom, 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 boom. Then you get mad at the one who's fighting for you. Like I said, I don't know where this is coming from. But that's where all this is coming from. That's where all this is coming from, guys. Over these next couple episodes, I'm going to get more personal with you guys. You know, I'm thinking about, I got a nice little setup right here. This is my room. I'm thinking about coming here every day. Every day and rolling out things. Yes, we're still going to have our podcast on Tuesdays. But I'm thinking about coming here every day. And dropping nuggets on you guys and dropping words on you guys because we are far more and we will be great. August is approaching. I want to issue a challenge. I have all the details. If you want to join the challenge, I want you to email me at wearefarmore@gmail.com. wearefarmore@gmail.com. I'm not going to edit this episode like that. I want it to be raw. I want it to be exactly how it is. I'm going to send you the details for the challenge. It's August. A lot of us have made New Year's resolutions and all that. Forget that. That's in the past. That's another thing we need to do. Start forgetting the past. Learn from it. But we go back there way too much. It's already happened. You ain't doing nothing to change it. Only thing you can control is the next step. That's it. So we're going to focus on the next step, which is August. Lord willing, we get there. When August comes around, I have a challenge for the month of August. Because it's not how when you fall, it's about when you get back up. And we're going to work on the getting back up part. Because that's all we can control. That's all we can focus on. That's what we're going to work on. All right. So all that is coming. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Giving you guys a little bit of a background testimony about myself. I think that's important. We got a lot of big things coming up. A lot. If you don't know, I make Christian music, by the way. See, I don't even like really saying that. I make music, all right? I make music. That's going to lead you to Jesus. It's going to tell you about my testimony. It's going to tell you about who I am even more. CallEmZ4, CallEmZ4. That's the app for that. I do daily words. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to put all those ads in the description, all right? But I love you guys. I hope you could take something from this episode. I know it's a little different. It's actually Tuesday right now when I'm recording this. I was kind of seeing on what I wanted to do. But I think it's going to be great. I think this is a movement, man. This ain't no podcast. It's not no music. It's not me. It's not me. We are far more.